Joining us now is OjyOkpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Ginny.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. How are you this morning? Perfect.
Good. You can see.
Yes, I can see very well. Good morning, Ayo. How are you this morning? Perfect. Well, before you're trending,
Dr. Abati is a bourgeoisie.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later.
You are a rich, blessed.
But can I just...
Journalists, a lot of people know.
in Tinubu's Nigeria.
No, Tinubu's Nigeria.
In Tinubu's Nigeria. We are all on the streets.
I will just say I love your haircut. You look amazing. Keep it up, really.
Thank
well,
you.
all right.
I think this is the haircut that is called Rikobe.
I don't know what it's
You don't know Rikobe?
No.
You have never been to a barber salon.
I have given
where
my
they have
son
that
this
board
haircut
and they do, guess follow me. Rikobe. This looks like Rikobe.
Don't worry, you'll take me there soon.
All thanks to my sister. I
very
love her
nice.
so much. Yeah.
Kudos, Rufai's sister. Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In India, authorities have called off efforts to find survivors 4 days after a deadly landslide hit a village in the western state of Maharashtra. 27 bodies were found, while 57 people are still missing. The landslide, which occurred on Wednesday, July 19th, flattened several homes in the village, which is located halfway up the slope of a steep mountain called El Shagad. In Cameroon, the death toll from a building collapse in the country's business hub, Douala, rose to 37 on Monday. The four-story building collapsed on Sunday and fell onto another residential block. The cause of the collapse is still unclear. At least 21 people were injured, many of whom are receiving treatment at a hospital as search and rescue efforts continue. In Nigeria, at least 8 people were killed in a petrol tanker explosion in Ore, headquarters of Odigbo, local government area of Edo State. A pregnant woman and 3 children were said to be among those who died in the incident. The Edo State Police Command said the incident occurred on Sunday evening after the fuel tanker fell and people rushed to scoop petrol. The cause of the explosion is yet to be determined. Under sports, Brazil's female football team scored twice in each half to record a resounding 4-0 win over debutants Panama in their opening 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup clash at the Hindmarsh Stadium on Monday. 23-year-old Ari Borges marked her Women's World Cup debut with an emotional hat trick.
Swung right in, surely, and it's there.
Then, 2-time world champions Germany defeated Morocco 6-0 in their opening Group H game, dominating the first Arab team to compete at the Women's World Cup finals.
Looking for a 6, it'd be the biggest margin of this World Cup so far, and it's
in! Finally, under entertainment, Afrobeats star Davido on Monday deleted a controversial music video by one of his artists, Logos Olori, following criticism from a section of Nigerians. A 45-second clip of the song Jaye Law, along with visuals, was released on Friday, July 21st. Muslim devotees, including the Muslim rights concern, Murik, called for the video to be pulled down. According to them, the video showed lack of respect for the Islamic faith. The group also called on the Department of State Services to probe Davido following the controversial music video.
Why everybody can they para?
Well, I say Davido is obedient. I mean, I don't know what this is. The call for DSS to check on Davido, I don't understand that.
What?
And also, I mean, this appears to be a clampdown of the arts. Only recently we took a story from the Oba of Lagos finding gangs of Lagos because they depicted the AO masquerade not in a good light. Dr. Bati.
Okay, I think a number of issues here. One, we have to worry about the fact that religion is very sensitive. And people are very emotional about their religion. What all the Muslim persons complained about, including the Muslim Rights Concern, MURIC, is that, look, a mosque is not a place for dancing. It's not a place for burlesque. It's a solemn environment for prayers and worship. And many Muslims objected to using the mosque dancing with Logos Olori sitting atop the loudspeaker, that the muezzin uses for call to prayer, and other people dancing, So that's one issue. I think it's important that people are conscious of the sensitivity of others about their faith, which is the same story about the Oba of Lagos saying Gang of Lagos depicted the Eyo, in a negative manner, and that he, as a custodian of the Adimula, objects to, projecting the Eyo mask as if it's a gang of criminals. So sensitivities. The second point, which you yourself raised, is about artistic freedom.
Yeah.
I made a point the other day that, look, artists are not obliged to do naturalism, or realism. They can stretch it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's the thing about artistic freedom. But artists also live in society. So even when you are exploring your intellectual freedom, you have to be very careful. You won't say you are doing a film now, you go and give people pork in a mosque. That would be insensitive.
Yes. So
those are the points. Well, Murik saying the film and video censors board should ban the video. Well,
no. What about the DSS?
And that the DSS should investigate. That's like taking it a bit too far. But it's okay. It's a 45-second clip. And the video, by pulling it down from his site, maybe we'll go further to edit the video, has done a good thing. It shows that he has listened.
Yes.
You said he's obedient.
He's obedient.
No, that's not the word. He's not obedient.
What?
He has just shown that he's also sensitive to other people's feelings.
As well, absolutely.
And to that extent, I think they should all let sleeping dogs lie. Okay. But in any case, Davido is supporting his signee, Olori and Jayelo. It's a good sound, it's good music.
Okay.
And maybe the other side of it is that this controversy will promote the record and it will sell.
Well said, Dr. Avati. All right, then, let's continue on what's trending. Let the poor breathe. A slogan that has been synonymous with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been used to send a message to the federal government by a group of protesters in Edo State who took to the streets on Monday to protest over the continuous hike in petrol pump prices. The protesters say the federal government should allow the poor to breathe as the petrol hike is choking poor Nigerians. They carried different placards with inscriptions such as, "How did NNPC become fuel price regulator? Reduce cost of governance, not increasing fuel price. Federal government, fix our refineries." Let's take a look.
How person go to buy fuel per liter 620 naira? What I can do? I want to walk. When they carry 100 and 150, when they buy per liter of fuel 620 naira. My brother, the thing don't tire us. We are dying in this country.
Well, this is not only happening in Benin City. Only today, while I was coming to work, I saw some protesters on the streets. They were doing a silent protest.
In Lagos?
In Lagos, just on Awolowo Road here. They had their mask on. Kweke, my language. They had their mask on and they were protesting for the banks to regulate their interest rates and that their money counts. Well, in the same vein, an old video has resurfaced online showing a group of civil rights activists led by senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, protesting over increase in the pump price of petrol back in 2012 when former President Goodluck Jonathan removed fuel subsidy and the fuel price went up from 65 naira per litre to 141 naira per litre.
Whether they remove the subsidy or not, we will still be in problem. If they remove subsidy, they will share the money. They have already shared it before collecting it. They say over 400 billion will go to Jonathan's government. Over 400 billion will go to state government. Over 200 billion will go to local government. They have already spent the money before they earn it. They are just fooling Colade to come and supervise an empty collection.
Governor of the Central Bank, Sanusi, came to Lagos and said, if you don't remove fuel subsidy, Nigeria will collapse. This country is not going to collapse. Those who are going to collapse are those who are cheating the Nigerian people. When my father was fighting, I was 13 years old. I am 50 in 6 months. My son is 16. We still have no electricity. We still have no health care. People are poor. People are dying because of 10,000 naira in this country.
Well, this happened on the 9th of January 2012. The same struggle, the same thing Femi just said on that video is what's happening now. Well, in the meantime, the senator representing Edo North, Oshiomhole, on Tuesday said that Nigerians who voted for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu knew that they were not electing a magician and that the APC did not promise a magical solution to the problems facing the country.
My question initially is the worry of those who impose their trust in the Tinubu ticket, who thought that when Tinubu gets into
They know
office,
they were not electing a magician.
You did not tell them you are not.
No. They know they are not electing a magician.
Your party
and nobody promised
agenda.
Nobody promised magical solution.
Yeah, your party said you have renewed hope. So let me give you an example of things that have happened.
You don't need to give me an example.
I'll give you an example.
I know what we promised more than you who was reporting it. Whatever you reported was we were the source.
Yeah, but the fact
we did not promise 24 hours solution.
You remember?
We did not promise miracles.
Schools.
We did not promise overnight solution. But nobody said this will be done.
Days,
and you show me if you have any document that says in 48 hours this will be done. In 14 days this will be done. In 21 days this will be done.
Are you saying that the hopes and the expectations of Nigerians?
I think you are the one who have the illusion that once a promise is made, automatically once you get into office, either spiritually or by miracles, solutions emerge.
The fact
what Nigeria need is what President President Tinubu has demonstrated.
President Tinubu promised renewed hope.
You see, a couple of things. Let me tackle his first, then dial back.
Yes.
You see why we keep saying manifestos matter?
Absolutely.
We campaign in poetry and govern in prose. Now they have seen how hard it is for governance. They are trying to backtrack. But please, somebody should tell Mr. Oshiomhole that we have receipts. We have the manifesto. It was over 80-page document. Have you know so?
Yes.
How he promised economic growth of 12% and he dialed it back. How we promised agricultural bonds, all the things he promised and he said, we have all the recordings. And no matter how much he tries to, move away from it, we'll ask them the question. That's what governance is about. We want him to do well. We want Nigeria to do well.
Yes.
But Nigeria will only do well with scrutiny, Oji. So please, when politicians start to change mouth, don't listen to them. They promise renewed hope. Although people are facing renewed shege now, but we know life can be a whole lot better if they do what is needful for the people. President Tinubu himself said, let the poor breathe. Don't suffocate them. But he's suffocating them now with all of this, bad implementation of policies. They need to go back to the drawing board. Let me now go back to the next, video you show. Oji, there's another video I want you to show. Okay. Maybe tomorrow you get the video and show it.
Send it to me.
In that video, Prince Nduka Obaegbana was the moderator. Before this, there was a subsidy debate. And Prince Nduka Obaegbana championed that subsidy debate where Labour and all the stakeholders came to debate. And I remember Emir Sanusi Lamido was CBN governor then and was giving us the empirical numbers. But people like Mr. Oshiomhole then were making arguments based on, when you look at it, the arguments and the other people against were making arguments all sorts based on the fact that there was political slant for them and they wanted to enjoy something politically. So you can now see many years down the line, we have gone back to where we are. I was saying this morning, Nigeria is almost a cycle. The best time to have put out that something was 2012. And for everybody now that they cannot talk because of their hypocrisy, at least you heard in that speech that Pastor Tunde Bakare was saying They are just there to confuse Christopher Kolade. Kolade is Christopher Kolade. When Goodluck Jonathan announced subsidy removal, he put a plan forward. He brought about Shopee. Christopher Kolade was the leader of Shopee. From day one, as he announced, he had a plan. This one's announced subsidy, gone, no plan. Just put the plan is to truncate people's life and put them in untold disaster. So you can see that what goes around comes around. You can see all of them. I think the question is, where are all of them today? All of them that went to Ojota, where are all of them today? And guess what? For the man Goodluck Jonathan is, peace be upon that man. Blessings be upon that man. That protest held without any loss of life, except for one incident where an overzealous police officer killed Demola on Yaya Baton. That was the only incident. Military men were there. They shut down the country for 2 weeks. He never used military to chase or shoot any people to death. You know, we are talking about another incident that happened. How people went to protest and it was scuttled. And they used all sorts to attack them. And people were here, they want to have mass burial of 103 bodies. That protest went for over 2 weeks, Dr. Abati. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, it was.
But no life was, the military did not open fire on anybody in Ojota, and they grounded this country for 2 weeks. You see, life is about good leadership. If you see a good leader, I have not met President Goodluck Jonathan, but please, if you're watching this, sir, your word speaks for you. Your act is speaking for you, and it's vindicating you today.
Yeah,
and let's learn to tell the truth.
That's really what we need.
I have not met President Goodluck. I don't know him,
But
I'm saying this to him to honor him today.
Absolutely. That's exactly what we need here, Ayo. I mean, Nigerians are suffering. It's a big problem. We're talking about people protesting in Benin. I told you about the ones in Lagos. Now, we took a video last week, Trekathon. Yes. Another video has come up again. Nigerians have been, embracing several ingenious measures to survive the hard times resulting from the increase in fuel prices across the country. Many were seen trekking over the weekend, again, in the Ikeja local government area of Lagos State.
Renew hope! All the Lagosians. This is what we are currently going through in Nigeria, especially in Lagos, especially in Ikeja. You go trek, I mean you go fly. No, or I get this. Whether to fly, I mean to waka. Renew hope. Like the renew. I want to be president. For you. For you. By force.
A renewed hope. The good thing is that Ayo, the chairman of Ojodu local government area of Lagos State, Honorable Segun Odumbaku, last weekend donated buses to ease off movement of residents. They are the buses and commuters as part of the palliative measures of his administration to cushion the effects of the subsidy removal. I mean, it's going down also to the local governments, and I think this is great.
Yes, so many stories to discuss this morning, but just to take on from where Rufai stopped in terms of President Goodluck Jonathan, to be honest, I'm actually quite sad that we're looking back, thinking the past is better. The reason I'm saying that is because when the President Goodluck Jonathan administration was voted out, and people were looking for a better, perhaps more hopeful administration, was because of the insecurity and how unfortunately it wasn't largely well handled under his administration. So we looked forward to having a better government, and that was what perhaps the APC had offered. 8 years down the line and another APC government in power, it looks like people are now looking back and saying, oh my goodness, what did we do? That's what, some feelings in some quarters. And that's quite sad because we're hopeful that things should get better as opposed to getting worse. Now, in terms of the first story with in Edo State, with regards to the protests, the danger with that, Oji, like you mentioned on the streets of Lagos, we're not going to resort to just protests around the country. Yes. What's going to happen if it's replicated in other cities, in other states, because everyone is feeling the pinch of this fuel subsidy removal? And it also shows that the interventions of the state governments are not enough. The Edo State governor had announced a 10,000 naira increase in minimum wage to 40,000 naira, and then some days of work. And yet, people are still out protesting. It means that despite the fact that he's making an effort, it's not anywhere close to providing relief for the people. It means that the government has their work cut out for them. People are not happy. With regards to the Honorable Odumbakin of Ojodu, if you read through his antecedents and perhaps his campaign promises, and that's why Rufai mentioned a campaign, your manifesto is very important. When he was campaigning for this position, he had talked about Ojodu as a transportation hub and how he was going to leverage that.
little wonder, in response to that and in fulfillment of what he had said to the people, he's providing transport, and this transport is going to be free of charge to the people of Ojudu. Many people who know the Ojudu axis know that's where a major hub in terms of the in-road and out-road from Lagos-Ibadan Expressway into Lagos State, from states like Ogun State and some parts of the southwest and other parts. Very critical. This is not a state governor. This is not, and we're still asking what the governor is still planning to do here in the state. I think it's kudos to him, and we must showcase those who have taken an action in this regard.
Well said, Ayo. Dr. Vati.
Okay, on this program, before now, I asked the question, where is the Ojota crowd?
Yes.
I asked the question, all the people who said the gathering at Ojota, where they were taking jollof rice and wearing designer T-shirts because of a fuel subsidy increase in 2012. I asked, where are they? Some of them are now of blessed memory, but Femi Kuti is alive.
Yes.
What has he said about the current situation? I've not seen any record anywhere of what he has said. Yes, Mr. Femi Falana has been very critical of government policies, but where is Pastor Tunde Bakare? Okay, he has just decided to just stay aloof. The whole point here is about consistency.
Yes.
If in 2012 we are not inciting anybody, you spoke up on behalf of the people, and the situation is worse now in 2023, what are you saying? Just put something on record, because this is the contradiction about civil society protests and participation. Number two, the protests that you have seen in Edo State, that you have seen in Lagos, that you have seen in other parts of Nigeria. People should note that the Trade Union Congress has now given the federal government of Nigeria an ultimatum.
Yes.
That if by August 19, government does not meet all its promises, after all, they said government told them 6 weeks. Within 6 weeks, the palliatives will roll out, things will happen. Then there will be crisis. So what we're seeing now may be signs of what is to come. And if those are signs, what is to come may not look very attractive. And that's why I said the protest is a wake-up call for government.
Yes.
Everybody talks about Emilokon, that President Tinubu said Emilokon during the campaigns. They have forgotten that he also told us, Elofo Kambale. Elofo Kambale was one of the things that he was using as a campaign slogan. Elofo Kambale, he was saying that in the context that people should have confidence that he will truly bring hope. So, but now our hearts are in our mouths.
Absolutely.
All of us are very nervous, and that is why you see those people trekathon, and they are saying, I thought they promised us hope. As for Comrade Oshiomhole, okay, he's right. It is true that nobody said there will be magic, because we don't expect the people in government to be shamanists. Mm-hmm. This is not about voodoo. We don't want a voodoo governance process. But it's becoming typical with APC. In 2015, some of them came forward and said, if the Buhari government did not perform, we should stone them. Then when the government did not perform, they said, no, the stone was meant as a metaphor. Nobody should stone them. And now we are being told, no magic. Okay, you promised us hope. The people are asking for hope.
Absolutely.
Restore the hope.
Absolutely.
Nobody is asking for magic.
Absolutely. Well,
this is the point.
Well said, all of you. I'd like to thank you all again for your contribution on What's Trending Today. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending Today. I'll see you all tomorrow.